I'm joined in studio by David Barnard, a man who is preparing to undertake an incredible feat. In fact, David, I'm going to leave it to you to describe what it is you're going to be doing.
In today, 44 days from now, I'm planning to run 250 kilometers in Antarctica as part of the last desert race, which is a 5-day race, 50 kilometers a day, and the aim is to use the race to raise money for Greenpeace Africa.
Now, I suppose the obvious question is, why run 250 kilometers and then why do it in Antarctica?
I've been doing desert races, and Antarctica is technically a desert. So I've been doing these multi-stage desert races around the world, from the Sahara to the Kalahari, to the Namib Desert, to the Gobi Desert. And in the series, one of the series that I'm doing covers 4 deserts, which include Sahara, Gobi, Atacama, and the last desert, which is Antarctica. So this is the 3rd out of those 4 that I'm doing. So that's just coincidentally that this time around it's Antarctica. It's obviously the most unique of all the desert races because it's isolated, it's very far from everywhere. But it's also, as with all my other desert races, it's a good opportunity to link it to a specific cause. And I think in the case of working with Greenpeace, Antarctica presents us with many opportunities to really raise issues regarding climate change, issues of alternative energy use, and ultimately to do something very practical in that regard in South Africa.
Now, when it comes down to the specifics of training for this race, I'm sure it's quite something to train for a desert race, but this desert is covered in snow. Quite
right, and therefore this is different and difficult in many sense. South Africa, now that we're kind of getting into summer, it makes it more difficult. So I look at training for this race on 2 or 3 levels. One is obviously just the physical training in terms of you have to do the distance. You have to run lots of kilometers, get the body used to it. Secondly, I think it's a mental issue in terms of all of these desert races. It takes you out of your comfort zone, and you have to kind of be prepared mentally and physically for that side. And then thirdly, which is obviously the unknown in this case, is, as you rightly said, the running in the cold, running in -20, -30 degrees Celsius. Coming from South Africa at the time that I will leave for Antarctica, it will probably be on average 30 degrees. So you talk about a 60, 70 degree difference. It's very difficult to prepare for that, living in sunny South Africa. But at least we have 6 days, both 3 days in Argentina before we depart for Antarctica, and then 3 days on the ship down to Antarctica, where it will get progressively colder. And hopefully that period you will also use to get acclimatized, start wearing different layers of clothing. So although you can't necessarily train for the cold, at least in some way you'll get used to, or be at least somehow acclimatized for the race that lies ahead.
Now, you're not just running off to Antarctica to run 250 kilometers for fun.
Yep.
As fun as it may be for you.
Yeah.
Tell us about the cause.
Yeah, so I refer to it, it is not about running in the snow. So it is about running in the snow, but that's not ultimately what it's about. All my desert races I have dedicated to a specific cause, an organization, or a set of issues that I would like to promote or support with these runs. And in this case, going to Antarctica, I've decided to link my run to the work of Greenpeace Africa, and specifically the work that Greenpeace Africa is doing in South Africa and many other parts of the world, of raising awareness about the challenges relating to climate change. That in terms of, say, the issue that we'd like to raise attention and awareness about, but then secondly, what are we doing about it? So in the case of South Africa, one of our biggest challenges in this country is our dependence on coal-powered electricity generation. And so we hear about the challenges around Eskom in terms of servicing its stations, in terms of building new stations, etc. There's an argument there in terms of that type of capital investment. Is that really where this country needs to go to? In terms of our abundance of solar power, or sunlight in South Africa, some of the best quality sunlight in the world, wind, water, etc. We have those means at our disposal in this country. So for us, in terms of a very practical way of demonstrating the alternative, is to use my run in Antarctica to raise money for a solar energy project in a bigger Gauteng area. The specific location, specific community that will benefit, That's still to be finalized. But so we will take the money as part of a bigger effort of Greenpeace Africa in terms of raising money for this project. We want to raise 250,000 Rand with my run in Antarctica, so it's a simple calculation, 250 kilometers, 250,000 Rand, and that will go towards a bigger effort from Greenpeace Africa. What do we want to demonstrate? We want to demonstrate how easy it is. We want to demonstrate it as an alternative. We want to demonstrate it as an affordable alternative. And we want to demonstrate that in a community, most probably a community where either they don't have electricity, that once people do have electricity, what are the social benefits thereof, be it is community safety, etc., etc., and in that way enhance people's quality of life.
Now, if somebody watching this, the message really touches home for them, how can they get involved by donating or supporting this cause?
The simplest was probably to go to the Greenpeace Africa website, which is very simple, www.greenpeaceafrica.org. From there they will find various links to my countdown. I'm writing a daily blog about the last 50 days to the race. So we'll learn more about what I am doing about it. They will learn more about what Greenpeace Africa is doing in terms of its bigger set of issues. And they will also have the option of making a donation, a secure online donation. And be it it's big or small, any donation ultimately, and including a nice message of support, all is welcome, and it will definitely go to a very good cause. And at the end of the day, hopefully there will be a very good story to tell at the end of this whole effort.
Now, once you begin this journey, how can we keep updated on how you're doing?
The easiest is probably following the daily blog. So I'm writing a daily blog, as I said, for 50 days, which started last Friday, the 12th of September, until we start the race on the 4th of November. And then during the race, from Antarctica, again, I think weather and many other things permitting, I will be writing a daily story, which you will be able to follow both on the race website as well as, again, through Greenpeace Africa. And then ultimately, post-race, I'm sure there will be many stories to tell and many photos and videos to share.
Well, please do stop by our studio as soon as you're done running, or maybe we'll give you some time to relax a bit beforehand. But where can we find the race website?
That's very simple. You go just to www, and it's 4deserts.com, and I think that's the easiest, and then you'll see a link to the last desert. So the race in Antarctica is called the last desert, and you know, maybe it's my last desert race, but maybe not. So the last desert race, or just Google the last desert race, and you'll see all the updates and also the countdown to the race.
Well, from everyone at News 24, we wish you the best of luck, and may you run well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.